long-term smoker. You know, I started smoking cigarettes and weed when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm 30 now and I still smoke weed. So I understand a lot of the psychology that's involved, and quitting smoking is part of the holistic health business. So I have been
And also
around
getting
that.
herpes didn't help my nicotine addiction either.
Nope, for sure. The
Yeah.
stress involved and all that. And the vape, I have to say, though, the vape is a very new thing. The vape, in our opinion, is a very, 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 very harmful thing.
Yeah.
It's equivalent to breathing in a deep fryer. And so I did the preface saying that I was a smoker, and it's because I don't promote smoking, but I also kind of defend it because I kind of have to, because there's a lot of people who have lived over 100 years old and smoked. There's people who have smoked for over 100 years. The longest living woman on record, Jean Calment, the longest agreed woman on record, she smoked until she was 117. She said after meals. I don't know exactly what that means, but I know that smoking can't be the contributor that it's said to be, especially when the cancers are so isolated in certain areas. And the biggest contributor, in our opinion, is going to be stir-fry food, not just eating it, but cooking it, standing over it, breathing in the oxidized particles. Same with deep fryer. Working in a McDonald's, working in a KFC, working in any place with a deep fryer is going to contribute. These particles are going to be in the air. So vaping is putting them right in your mouth and inhaling them.
Yeah.
So me saying I was a long-term smoker, I know that smoking isn't that bad. I knew superstar athletes, literally, I know professional athletes who smoked the entire time, right? Go listen to Michael Jordan interviews. He said, man, when I showed up to the Bulls, everybody was smoking during the timeouts.
Oh my God.
Right? So how bad can it really be if you can still be an all-star athlete and right? When I got into this business, by the way, I got it because I got out of pain. I was born in pain. I was born with problems with birth defects, really, and pain for the rest of my life until I was almost 26. And I eliminated it, and I got into this, but I didn't quit smoking because of that, right?
Yeah.
So people thought it was odd. You're in the health business, and we're like, well, your body needs minerals, right?
Yeah, no,
your body needs minerals, and if you want to get down to the technicalities, this is relevant to your vaping, thinking about vaping, because you can capture the smoke from a cigarette. You can capture the smoke from a carton of cigarettes, but you can also just do the math on one cigarette. And it weighs almost nothing, right? 0.0000000 nothing. And you can take the weight of one French fry, and you can assume that, be generous, say 90% of the weight is free radical, oxidized free radicals, heterocyclic amines, you know, just horrible, what we know is cancerous compounds, extremely aggressive oxidizing compounds. And the amount that one French fry weighs is the equivalent of several cartons of cigarettes, is the point. So when you're inhaling the vape, you can measure the vape, you can see it, you're sucking back the juice. That's literally going into your lungs, and those would be very, very serious oxidative compounds. And you're dealing with an immune problem. Remember why we take antioxidants? It's to combat the free radical damage. I don't know how long you've been following us, by the way. I think you literally just reached out.
No, I've been following you guys for like years.
So you've heard that then?
Yeah, I've seen all your videos and heard some of this. Not all of them, but I've seen a lot of them. So, yeah.
Antioxidants combat free radical damage. If we are consuming too many free radicals, we can't really out-supplement that. We have some amazing antioxidant products, not just us, but the market has pretty phenomenal antioxidant products. We can get more antioxidants in our body than would be physically, humanly possible under any wild condition for under $2 or $3 a day. You know, if you wanted to do them, I believe it would be right now, actually, that product that we have, the strongest antioxidant product we have is on 2 for 1. So I don't know how that math works out right now, but it's pretty freaking good deal. You can't buy that many blueberries. You can't eat that many blueberries. Kind of thing. This is why we do extracts and such, you know, more compounds. So the vape is just, it's worse than smoking was kind of my point. People come to us with smoking. I've seen people, all kinds of people. We work with working class people, you know, they're smoking, they're drinking. We got to work with them, right? Switch the beer to a gluten-free beer. Switch to Bud Light or Corona, whatever. Like, I don't recommend beer, but if they're going to do it, switch to the gluten-free beer. I got my dad to switch to wine. He lost 40 pounds. Boom. You know, simple changes. Vaping, going to be way worse for you than smoking. Not recommending smoking, but that's the perspective. And I mean, astronomically worse. So that's my opinion.
It's just been very hard to quit. I don't know why.
It's because it's extremely addictive. Yeah. It's because cigarettes are extremely addictive as well. Nicotine is just highly, highly addictive. People want to give, by the way, for vaping or smoking, it doesn't matter. It's the same psychology. I do recommend the Alan Carr method. It's called the easy way to quit smoking. He's also translated that into drinking as well. But I believe that psychology can transmit onto any addiction that is harmful, that is being done against your will. And that's the key of this. In the health business, there's not that much that actually is successful to breaking addiction. They all have pretty poor success rates. 12-step, I know some people, great friends, great people, had tremendous results with 12-step, but they have a huge failure rate, right? So same with hypnosis, same with minerals, man. Dr. Wallach will talk about minerals. He'll say every time you want a cigarette, just have some minerals. I'm saying as a 20-year smoker, that's not correct. It's not correct. There's more to it. Just fixing your body, it will help. It'll reduce some of the stress on you, right? You're talking about, you mentioned earlier that the trigger of the diagnosis, this is common, by the way, the trigger of a diagnosis creates stress that causes you to damage the body more, right?
It really worsened it. I wasn't even that into vaping until it happened, actually.
This is not uncommon. You get a diabetes diagnosis and go to Dairy Queen right after, right? Yeah. This is psychology. This is human psychology. So causes more stress. We have to relax to heal. We have to have confidence and faith in what we're doing to engage in the healing process. If we are stressed and we're using these horrible coping mechanisms, which are terrible coping mechanisms, by the way, cigarettes, again, it's not a coping mechanism. Us making up the excuse about why we smoke or vape or whatever is the coping mechanism.
Yeah, literally.
The nicotine is the addiction. That's the period on it. That once we can no longer make the excuse for ourselves, it's over. The addiction can actually be broken once it's recognized for what it is. And it's the most successful program that I know. And it's purely psychological.
So it's Alan what?
Alan Carr, C-A-R-R. Okay. It costs the price of a book. I'm sure there's material online about it, but it's worth the book. And I would get off the vape. Just get off it, break it, just like you would with cigarettes. Read the book.
Yeah, okay.
Do you avoid any foods?
I was for a good amount of time avoiding gluten. But then I gave in. But I'm gonna start doing it again, like for real, because I have like these competitions I would do, and like I'm really strict with my diet, so I know I can do it. But I was gonna buy all these supplements and just make sure I don't eat gluten again. But yeah, I didn't really avoid any foods necessarily.
So that is a good idea. The gluten's going to be the big one, getting in the way of nutrient absorption, just screwing up the body.